so the first thing that we're going to talk about today for our study guide is if lines are parallel, skew, or intersecting. So I highly suggest that you have some sort of highlighters or colored pencils or markers or colored pens. It helps you be able to see the lines better. And I suggest that also for the test tomorrow. You can draw using colors and stuff. So let's look at number 1 first. So number 1 is asking if CD and AH are parallel, skew, or intersecting. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to highlight CD and AH. So are those parallel? No. Are they intersecting? No. No, so that means that they are skew. Okay? Number 2, we have AG, so I'm going to highlight the line AG, and PQ, so PQ is right here. Are those parallel? Are they intersecting? Yes. Okay, what about, let's look at FE and FG. So I'm going to highlight FE, and then I'm going to highlight FG. Are those parallel? Are they intersecting? Yes. Okay. And then we're going to look at AG and HG. So AG is this line right here, and HG is this line right here. Are those parallel? Are they? Yeah. Okay, do we need more examples of those? Okay, we're good on parallel, skew, and intersecting. Okay. The next ones I want to look at are our angle relationships. Now, if you struggle with this, I suggest that you make note cards tonight and you flip through them. Write your own definitions of what they are and how you can see where they're located. Okay? So let's look at 1 and 6 first. So I'm going to mark my angle 1 and 6. Okay? Is 1 and 6 corresponding? Alternate interior. Alternate exterior. Consecutive? Vertical. Okay. Yes, they are vertical. Remember, vertical are across from each other and they share a vertex. Okay? Then 4 and 5. So 4 is right here. 5 is right here. Are those corresponding? Are they alternate interior? Are they alternate exterior? Yes, they are on the outside of the parallel lines on the opposite side of the transversal. So that is alternate exterior. Okay. What about 2, which is right here, and 3, which is right here? What type angles are those? Angles 2 and angle 3. They're consecutive, okay? A lot of people get corresponding and consecutive confused. You need to know the difference, okay? Consecutive means inside the parallel lines, so 2 and 3 are both inside the parallel lines, and they're on the same side of the transversal. They're on the left-hand side. So this is consecutive, okay? Now, 2 and 7. So 2 is here, and 7 is here. What would these be? Alternate interior. Very good. They're both inside the parallel lines on opposite sides. Okay. What about 2 and 4? So 2 is here, 4 is here. What are those? Corresponding. find corresponding is on the same side of the parallel line. So this is underneath this parallel line. This is also underneath the parallel line, and they're on the same side of the transversal. They're both on the left. Okay? And then what about 1 and 4? 1 is here. 4 is here. And so y'all said it's what? No relationship. Okay, there is one type of angle up here that is not listed, but I want you to know. Does anybody know what it is? Isabella? Linear pair. Okay? There are actually some up here that are a linear pair. You do need to know that type angle. Can somebody give me an example of linear pair? Layla? What is it? 3 and 7, yes. 3 and 7 would be a linear pair, and that's actually 24. Okay? You can put LP/N because it's not listed up here, but you have to know linear pair. That's how you're going to solve some of these problems. Okay. Do we need to keep going over angle relationships? All right. Okay, the next ones I want to look at are 36, 37, and 38 because we tend to think these are harder, but if we know how to look at them, they're really not that bad. So, looking at 36, how many parallel lines do we have there? 3. How do you know they're parallel? Okay, these arrows right here tell me that they are parallel. So if you don't know that, you need to write that down. These mean parallel. Okay? Now, the easiest way to do this, because some people freak out because there's 3 parallel lines, is just take your finger and cover up that bottom line. So I can't really do it up here, but take your finger on your paper and cover up the bottom line. Now, if I cover up this bottom line, the only 2 angles I see are 60 and D. Do 60 and D have a relationship? No, they do not have a relationship, okay? But I know that 60 and this angle do. What is 60 and this angle? They're corresponding, so that means this one is 60 as well. Now, does 60 and D have a relationship? They are a linear pair, okay? So this is a linear pair, which means I would do what to find D? 180 minus 60, okay? That would give me 120. So D would be 120. All right, so now we're done with the 60 up here. So take your finger and cover up this top line. So now we only have these 2 bottom. Okay, does D, which is 120, have a relationship with F? What is it? Okay, so these 2 are consecutive, which means what? They add to 180. So what would F be then? 60. Okay? You can also see that this angle 60 is corresponding to F as well. Now, does D and E have a relationship? Very good. These are alternate interior. So that means that they are congruent, so this would be 120. Does it help covering it up? Okay. Now, in 37, where are my parallel lines? Okay, they're the ones with the arrows. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to continue these out because I feel like it helps me see this problem a little better. Okay, and all of my angles, do I have any angles on this line right here? No. So I'm not concerned about that line, but I do on this line, okay? So I'm going to circle this because I can treat this as a transversal, right? So if I treat it as a transversal, and I'm going to continue that out so I can see it a little bit better. Does 48 have a relationship with A or B? Okay, what relationships do we see there? Okay, so we have a corresponding angle. What is corresponding to 48? A. So if these are corresponding, that means that A is what? 48. Okay, and then what was the other angle relationship that I heard? Consecutive. So B and 48 are consecutive. So how would I get B? 180 minus 48, which gives me 132. Perfect. Okay. And now this one. Which two lines are my parallel lines? The lines with the arrows. So I'm going to continue those out as well so I can see them better. All right, just looking at this figure, what is the easiest angle to find first? Okay, why is D so easy to find? Very good. Okay, so 26 and D are vertical, so they're really easy to see. They're across from each other. That means they're congruent, so D would be 26. Okay, and so for the purposes of just being able to see, I'm going to go ahead and erase that. Now, this line doesn't have anything on it, right? Okay, but my other line has C and 67, right? So I'm going to treat that as the only transversal because that's the only one that matters. So if I look along this line, what relationship does C and 67 have? Very good. They are alternate interior. Okay? And so C is 67. Does that make it a little simpler when you look at it now? Okay. And now, our last example is going to be 42. Okay? So, it tells us that A is parallel to B. Okay? What immediately should you think, oh, I have to do what? If you're very good, Matthew. Circle your transversals. If you only have two things that are parallel, then that means the other two lines are going to be transversals, and I want to go ahead and circle those so I know that I can only work along those transversals. Okay, so that means that angle 3, 4, and 6 I can only get using the angle 100. 1, 2, and 5 I can only get from using angle 70. So let's start with 100. Who wants to tell me a relationship they see with 100 and either 3, 4, and 6? Christian? Okay, so you're telling me that 104 are corresponding. What does that mean? They're congruent. So angle 4 would be 100. Okay, what other relationships do we see there? Ryan? They have a relationship? Do 103 have a relationship? No, they do not. Okay, what do you think, Haley? Okay, 3 and 4 are a linear pair. Okay, we know that 4 is 100, so how would I find 3? It would be 100 minus, or 180 minus 100. So 3 would be 80. Yes, Hunter? What about 3 and 6? They are alternate interior. So if angle 3 is 80, so is 6. Okay. Yes, Layla? Are angle 4 and 2 corresponding? They can't be corresponding. Why? They're in different transversals. So I have done all the work that I can do with this right here. Now it's time to move to this transversal, and I can only use 70 for this transversal. So we're going to use 70 to define 5, 2, and 1. Yes? Okay, so the first relationship we see is 70 and 2 are alternate interior, which means 2 is also 70 degrees. Okay? Then we have 5 and 1 left. So Nick, what do you think? Very good. 70 and 5 are a linear pair. So I would do 180 minus 70, and that would give us 110. So angle 5 would be 110, and then how do we find angle 1? Yes, Layla? Very good. 5 and 1 are congruent because they are alternate exterior. So this would also be 110. Okay. Do we have any questions on that one?